Hey everybody, hi, it's Rob from Old Style Classics Baseball Cards. Thanks for joining me today. Tuesday, January 30th, 2024, 9:33 p.m. California time. And so today, Tuesday, let's do a mini card Monday. So, all right, so for today, Monday. Uh-oh, people. What could that mean? What does that mean, people? Hey, if you don't mind. Unravel. That was the word I was asking my wife about. Um, that jersey on that Andre Dawson card. Unravel. And subconscious. Um, not subconscious, but what's the word I'm looking for, folks? But hey, if you wouldn't mind, thanks for tuning into my channel. If you wouldn't mind subscribing, leaving a comment and like. That way my videos can reach more people. So whenever you hear the sound, you know it's either one of them boys going to be calling in or it's a call for subscribe. So if you guys wouldn't mind, that would help me out so we can get my videos to more people. And then you can get down. All right, people. Thank you. All right, people. So subliminal messaging, that's what I'm looking for. So, all right. So Tuesday, October 30th, 2024. Just to recap from yesterday. Before we get on with this mini card Monday, got the O-Pee-Chee Andre Dawson 1988. The O-Pee-Chee Andre Dawson 1990. Got the Superstar sticker card. 1990 Andre Dawson. 1988 Andre Dawson. This mini card Andre Dawson. That's the one where I was talking about the unraveling. So I don't know what's going on with the back of his jersey there, if that's just a mistake on the printing or it just kind of looks like something's unraveling on his jersey. Alright, folks, and then this was the big eBay pickup yesterday. Tom Glavine mini framed autograph from 2023. Got that for around $20 with shipping or something like that. Hall of Famer. So that's sweet. Didn't get any eBay today, people. So and then we watched another episode of the Young Indiana Jones, and we were watching it was the one with the girl, and he's in England. And I was like, man, she looks familiar. I couldn't put my finger on it. And I was like, you know who she looks like? She looks like Elizabeth Hurley. And my wife was like, yeah, but no. And then sure enough, I looked it up. It was Elizabeth Hurley. And then the kid who plays young Indiana Jones, the teenage version, that saw Sean Patrick Flannery or whatever, he's the guy that was just in that movie, Nefarious, that we just watched, playing the psycho demon dude. And that was an excellent movie. So anyhow, so since I didn't get any eBay, I'm over here looking around like, what can I show these people, because I want to do an episode. So I grabbed some of these random Ultra Probe boxes that I have sitting around. They have some cards in it. So got a bunch of minis in here. Now I'm not going to go through these ones, but one of these days, can't wait to get to these, the Helmar Brewing cards. And they're kind of in a T206 style. But I got another box full of them, so I'm not going to do that other than that little tease right there. Beautiful cards. 2005 Helmar Brewing. They came in like potato chips and popcorn or caramel corn or something. Then I also have these. I told you I was going to show you guys someday. My King B jerky nut stuff. It's like kind of like tobacco, but it's beef jerky. And these are where those MSA King B cards came in. So I actually have a couple of these containers that actually came in. And with the little wax paper advertisement that comes in there to protect the card from the actual beef jerky. So I don't think I'm going to show those either today, but we'll see how everything goes along because already 5 minutes in. But I did come across some of these cards with those Helmar cards. You know how I love mini tobacco cards, so that's why today it's mini size Monday. So tomorrow on Wednesday it's going to be a pretty big day. I'm going to be busy tomorrow, people. And it's supposed to rain nonstop. Going to be out delivering stuff in the rain. Alright, so, but anyways, I figured I would show you guys some other things. This little stack of cards that I had. Then I have this historic autographs 1969 fat pack, which kind of a waste of money, but figured I'd give it a shot. There's a couple cool things in there, but nothing super valuable. But let's get on with these. So these, everybody, are Topps 206 cards, and but these aren't the Topps 206 that you pick up nowadays. This is from way back when they first started doing it. Like I said, they did Topps 206 for a while, a couple years, then they went away for like 8 years, and then they came back, and then they went away, and now they've recently come back in the last 4 years or something. So I don't know if this is the first set, but it's one of the earliest sets of Topps 206. So Topps doing modern players in an old-fashioned design. So this is even pre Allen and Ginter that they were doing this. Now, I don't know if you guys seen those Kimball Champs that came out of Flagship as an insert set. Those were an early version of minis, old-fashioned style. And then they came out with Topps 206 and then Topps 205, but they really didn't take off at the time because they were full-size cards that came with these minis, just like Allen and Ginter does. But full-size cards just really didn't look that great. And so they went away for a while. So like maybe they did these in 2002, 3, somewhere around there. And then they moved on, I think, to like Chicle. That didn't work, but then they ended up doing Allen and Ginter, and that's the one that took off. So then that evolved into Gypsy Queen, but they tried this again between Allen and Ginter and Gypsy Queen, like in 2010. Same thing. Didn't really take off, and now they've just done an exclusive online where you just get minis, and I think that's a good thing. So anyways, these Topps 206 are from 2002. So it's modern players in that Topps, what they thought 206 would look like. So remember, these are about 22 years old. Oh, no, wait. Yeah, it's 2024, so these are 2002. Can you believe that's 22 years old already? Unbelievable. So they're cool. The fronts are really nice. The backs are just cardboard, and then they of course have the different cigarette brand on the back, and then of course your standard Topps information there. And before I started this video, I was trying to focus to get this to focus on that small writing, and it just will not do it. It is really stubborn. I mean, slowly you start to see it. There we go. Alright, so that's your standard stuff there. They didn't have codes back then, but they even had the factory number and all that, like they did on the old T206. As you can see there, that's 2002. And so no name, just the Tolstoy back, and that is an Anderson, so I'm not quite sure which Anderson that is. I believe they are numbered so you can keep track of them. Yeah, there's a number 3 on there. Alright, next we have Giles. So sorry guys if I don't know your first names. I don't remember all of these players. It's familiar, but not enough to where I know the first name. So there we go, number 44. Tolstoy back. Then of course we picked up the Honus Wagner. Now that'd be much nicer if it was T206, but nevertheless, Topps 206 in honor of the most popular tobacco mini card. And there you go, that's a polar bear. So that's cool. We got a polar bear card. So you got Honus Wagner on the front and Pete Alonso on the back. So those polar bears are pretty nice. I like how it's just got that brown cardboard back. Now they're all kind of just the white backs like Allen and Ginter. But I really do appreciate the old cardboard backs. This reminds me of when I was young. Alright, next we will move on. So we knew that was Honus Wagner. Alright, so Julio for Baltimore. Got the cool Oreo hat there. That's also a polar bear. Is now, always has been, always will be the best. Number 143. Alright. I believe that would be Jimmy Rollins. So sometimes I believe that maybe the ones without hats might be a short print image variation. So Rollins on a polar bear, number 23, but I could be wrong because a lot of different stuff happened to Topps 206 over the years. The Topps 205, I like the 206 better, but the Topps 205 had the foldouts, and those were super cool, like the original foldouts. There's Paul O'Neill, Mr. Also been on Seinfeld episode where the kid in the hospital wants him to hit a couple home runs for him. Hey kid, home runs are hard to hit. Alright. And look at this, people. There's an early. So here we got a couple early Albert Pujols, Topps 206, 2002 on a polar bear back. So give that a second in the limelight there. So those are nice. Alright, and that is number 91. So now we move on to, so here we go. Those were the 2002s, and now you can see we've jumped up ahead to 2010. So they were making another go at Topps 206 after the success of Allen and Ginter. So this was a year before Gypsy Queen came out. As you can see, though, they had codes then. It's not the best image of Albert Pujols, but there's another Albert Pujols. So now we've jumped ahead 8 years. So 8 years further into his career. Albert Pujols, designs a little different. So same logo basically, the 206, but more of a filtered background here to make it look more like a painting. And it looks more like an image, but as it, it's kind of O-back-ish with just having like a farm or pastoral scene in the background. So that's pretty sweet. 2 Albert Pujols cards, 8 years apart. So those are cool. I don't know, I mean, I get that they're hard to deal with, but I love mini tobacco cards. They're super cool. This is the one that the big cards really didn't look that great on, though. When this is a full-size card, it just, I don't know, it's just something off about it, and I think that's why they didn't succeed. Same with Chicley, they're a little too bland. Alright, next we have a Gordon for the Royals. And that is number 202. Baseball Caramels, American Caramel Company back. So that's pretty cool. The centering on these were pretty bad too on a lot of them. There's Cabrera, but not Miggy. So another Cabrera for the Indians. There's your Piedmont back, so that should be your standard. That's card number 51. And that's subjects 181 through 310, so that might have been just a different series. Or just each year they did it like T206, where maybe in 2009 they did 1 through 181 or 180. Alright, next we got the Guillen. So, like I said, I think the no hats on some of these were image variations. That's polar bear, so you can see how the polar bear has gone to that blue, much like I believe the originals. But they're pretty cool. The polar bear back, number 207. Got the magnifying glass out here. We're dealing with minis, folks. So some of these things are just hard to read. It just says Detroit Tigers. So no names. No full name on those. Alright. Then we got Billingsley for the Dodgers on a Piedmont back. They took the time to write Los Angeles Dodgers in there, so that was a little different. Alright. The last of the regular baseball cards, Anderson, Mr. Anderson, another Mr. Anderson from back then. I remember the chase for this was like the Cal Ripken Jr. Mini. Just even like the mini was like really hard to get and was going for a lot of money. But that's baseball caramels. Or if you could pull that Cal Ripken Jr. Mini framed auto. So they were doing mini framed autos back then. That was another chase. And they would also have like mini framed original T206s. Alright, then they did have an insert set this year. Or inserts. Poorly centered. Indianola, or maybe that was just part of no. So that's historic events. So I think if you could pause that, you could probably read that. First junior high school in the U.S. Opens in Columbus, Ohio. All right, next we have the Boy Scouts of America Incorporated by William D. Boyce. Is that Boyce or Royce? So they were kind of going that Allen and Ginter direction with some different stuff going on in those. But it's like spreading it too thin, you know. If you already have one successful thing and you try another and people are like, this isn't special enough to make it better than Allen and Ginter. So people are just like, nah, it's okay, but you know, I'm going to spend my money on the one that I like better. And Allen and Ginter is definitely a nicer looking set. They're not bad though, so I'm glad that these are an online exclusive, that you could still get these minis, because the minis are super cool, but a little expensive nowadays. For like when you watch people break open those Topps 206, at least they've moved up to like 40 cards instead of 10. But I mean, the mini autographs are cool and all the variations are nice, but the checklist is, you know, pretty same thing over and over and not too big. But now it's gotten really big, but it's got a lot of prospects and different stuff on there. So the first radio contest held in Philadelphia in 1910, and I've won my share of radio contests. So I'm always winning tickets to concerts and stuff. So you can pause that and read that. Something about the Morse code. Maybe you had to call in and say what the Morse code was. Alright, then we have 1909. Greensboro Brig opens linking Manhattan and Queens. Alright, there you go. For you New York folks. Alright, so that's interesting stuff. They're nice cards. I like the image variations and the different backs. But I really like these early ones because I kind of dig that cardboard back. I think that works pretty well. Alright, so we got that in the bag. Let's see what else we got. Alright, folks. Here's got to throw an Allen and Ginter in there since we did some minis. So this one I have one of those mini top loaders. I liked that card enough to throw it in a little top loader there. That's when the top, well, I don't know, it's pretty thick. Top loaders used to seem to work better. Now the minis just seem to slip out. So kind of made the transition to the penny sleeve tobacco insert mini, you know what I mean, that go in the full size. You've seen them. But anyway, that's a cool one. Blackbeard for the Hoist the Black Flag Pirate cards from 2015. Allen Ginter 10th anniversary set. So I really like that insert set. So that's number one, Hoist the Black Flag. So you can pause that and read about old Blackbeard there. So I had that sitting there. This is something I picked up a couple years back. Yep, a couple years ago we got the baseball stars bubblegum little candy lid, I guess is what they called them. And this one is of Hall of Famer Rod Carew. So you can see it's perforated there. You can pull that off as if it were like a candy lid or like one of them ice cream lids from way back in the day. So that was a little insert set in Heritage that year. So that's still pretty neat. I dig stuff like that. So occasionally you will get some other old style classics design stuff in some of these products. You know, may even get stuff like that sometimes in flagship. So I like that. That's pretty cool. All right, folks. So 23 minutes into it, and I haven't really got into these cards yet, and I have a ton of them. So I'll show you more of them at a later date. I got two different stacks that should be organized alphabetically because that's basically how they were. And these are the 2013 Panini Cooperstown insert. So in the Cooperstown collection cards in 2013 they had an insert set of the 2013 Panini version of Colgan discs. Now if you look at my old video, I did pick up a Birch Colgan disc 1909 or 1910 original Colgan disc, and they're about the size of a quarter, or maybe a $50, something like that. So these are about 2 to 3 times the size of the original Colgan disc. But this was a neat insert set that they did for different Hall of Famers in 2013, which is the better of the Cooperstown sets that Panini did. And I bought a ton of these trying to pull an Andre Dawson card, and I still, to this day, I mean, each one of these represents a pack that I bought. Most of them were in the bargain bin at the card shop, and I just kept looking for a Dawson And so when you get those packs, you can kind of look through them like you do those box loader, like Allen Ginter box loaders, how you can see kind of right through the packaging. So if the card was facing up, you would know, oh, there's no Dawson in there. That's um, Pete Rose. But the ones that had the backwards with the card facing down, you didn't know. So I bought a ton of those trying to get a Dawson. Never was able to get one. Finally gave up and bought one on eBay. Got that, and then a couple years later, I was like, I'll buy a hobby box because I wanted something to open, and maybe I'll get a Dawson. I bought a few hobby boxes, and mostly because they come with a guaranteed autograph of a Hall of Famer. Still never pulled a Dawson, so it's insane. I got stacks of these, and if anyone's interested in some of these, let me know because I have multiple doubles of a lot of these guys. So we'll go through this stack first. A mini card Monday. Today, Tuesday, January 30th. Hey, if you guys wouldn't mind subscribing, commenting, maybe liking my video so that other people can see these and reach out to more people. But if you comment, tell me what you think about the cards. So anyways, let's get to it. That's Ricky Ashburn, Philadelphia. There you go, Myco. And so, like I said, the regular Colgan disc would be about this big. Alright. And, they're glossy. They're not just paper stock like the original Colgan discs. And then they just have like a shiny-ish back. Not as glossy, but so that just looks like a copy, like if you did a copy machine of the back of one of the original Colgan discs and blew it up. But it does have the little writing around the edges, so I don't know if you can read that. We'll leave that in there so you guys can take a look at what that says. So your modern information on there. But inside the small writing there, well, it's upside down. You don't want to stand on your head to read that. But it says 2013 Panini. But anyway, so it's got basically what the back looked like in the original Colgan discs. Alright, and they're all basically the same. It's not numbered, so I just keep track of them alphabetically. So of course they don't have the license, so you're going to have airbrushed or strategically cropped images. And I'll show you the first few backs just because it show you it's all the same. Alright, then Lou Brock. Young Lou Brock there. Alright, so there's your backs. Gary Carter. Cronin. Boston. Alright, another Cubby here. Evers. That's what I call them. I know some people say Evers or Evers. I think it's Tinker Evers to chance. Maybe it's Evers. I can't remember. Alright, for Boston, Carlton Fisk. Freddie Frisch. St. Louis. The great Lou Gehrig. Give Lou Gehrig a moment in limelight. Alright, Yankee fans. I like these. I think they're cool. Gosselin. So I'm happy to have them. But I do have doubles and stuff like that, so always willing to trade for maybe some tobacco minis if I have doubles. But I'll show you more of them when I find the other box. So I got a huge box of these. Hornsby. St. Louis. It's Cub 2. Lajoie. Napoleon. Mazeroski. There you go, Pirates fans. Bill Mazeroski. So I think eBay will be maybe possibly something tomorrow, but probably Friday or Saturday. So I'll probably have to show you guys more stuff like this in between because I like doing episodes. There you go, Satchel Paige. Satchel Paige. And there you go, Mr. Satchel Paige. So have you guys ever seen these Panini version of these? Perez. And they're pretty good stock too. You know, they're round, that makes them stronger, but they are good stock. And with that gloss on there, they make them really, these are really hardy cards. So I'm not worried about these being flimsy like maybe those King B cards. Alright, Jim Rice. Alright. Santo, we finally got in. Post-death, posthumously. So here we go. There's a double right off the bat. Even willing to trade off Cubs cards. Alright, the great Tris Speaker. Boston. Alright, here we go. One of the GOATs. Honus Wagner. If you can get that in original Colgan disc, I'd say you did yourself quite the favor. You did really good. Alright, even so, modern Hall of Famers. Robin Yount. Which is kind of more like the autographs you might get in Cooperstown, but even getting Yount would probably be more difficult. You're looking more at like Goose Gossage kind of guys. Maybe Jim Rice. Mr. Cub, Ernie Banks. Young Ernie. Alright, we got... Now we're kind of going backwards because they might have fell apart and then out of order a little bit. Gary Carter. There you go, Chance. One of the other third of the Tinkers Evers to Chance. Hall of Famer. So I reckon that Chance would be the first baseman. Tinkers and Evers would be the shortstop and second baseman. Alright. Here we go, the great Bob Gibson. Excuse me, sorry. Josh Gibson. That can go with my 2006 Allen Ginter Josh Gibson postcard, where he states on the postcard, if he was writing it, a homer a day will boost my pay. That's awesome. Alright, Goose Gossage, I got 2 of his autographs out of Cooperstown. But a beautiful autograph. I didn't know he played for Pittsburgh ever, but there he is on Pittsburgh. So that's cool for you Pirates fans. And not probably known so much for the Pittsburgh time. Lemon. Cleveland. Alright. Gaylord Perry just recently died in the last year. So rest in peace. Alright, Jim Rice. Boston. Tom Seaver. Cincinnati Red Leggings. And George Sisler. So that's cool. Alright, that was the first stack, and now we'll move on to the second stack. And then we'll probably wrap this one up. Alright, the great Cap Anson, showing him out in Philadelphia there, though, so... regardless who he is, he's a great player, probably the best player out of the 1800s, arguably. And there's not a whole lot of argument. It's almost like arguing between Ty Cobb and Babe Ruth, depends what you like. But this guy was like the first guy to 3,000 hits and so on and so forth. So, had a huge impact on the early professional game, but not the nicest person. Bottomley, St. Louis. Alright, George Brett, Hall of Famer. They're all Hall of Famers, though, so I don't have to say that every time. Lou Brock again, young Lou Brock. All right, Mr. Padre, Tony Gwynn. He's staring you down. Ooh. Still pretty cool card, though. Rest in peace, Tony Gwynn. Cal Ripken Jr. I guess I misspoke when I said, oh, it was a Pete Rose card because he wouldn't be in this set. So let's say you'd see the Ripken card through the pack. Be like, nope, not buying that because I want Dawson. Got a ton of color numbered cards out of these set too. Catfish Hunter. Wonder if we'll get Junk Wax Heroes favorite. Hey, there you go. Monty Irving got his autograph. Jack Morris for Junk Wax Hero would be nice. Maybe we could send them that. Excuse me, people. Reggie Jackson. Alright, Commissioner Kuhn. Guess being commissioner just gets you in the Hall of Fame. So there you go. Barry Bonds and all you guys maybe can become commissioner, and that'll get you in the Hall of Fame. Kennesaw Mountain Landis. Guy that brought the hammer down on the Black Sox and opposed free agency. Lindstrom, not too familiar with him, but we'll look him up. If you know, we can look him up and find out about Lindstrom, how he's in the Hall of Fame, what he did, even though I'm not familiar with the name. So that's another cool thing about baseball cards, get you the motivation to go seek out some of this information if it's not on the card. Juan Marichal. There you go, Giants fans. Alright. Christy Mathewson, the Christian gentleman, according to Ken Burns. The idol of many a young boy back in the early 1900s. Christy Mathewson. Alright, the great, one of my favorite Giants, Willie McCovey and old McCovey Cove. So Willie McCovey, the Billy Williams of the Giants. Paul Molitor, Milwaukee. There you go, Brew Crew. You got yourself some players in this set. Mr. Eddie Murray. Eddie Murray. So, that's sweet. Phil Necro. Can't believe this video is going on for 40 minutes. I feel like I just started it. Not Jim Rice. So, I have to look him up for Washington. I would say that's the early 1900s through the 20s, somewhere in that range. Frank Robinson. Underappreciated Frank Robinson. Mr. Sisler again. Big old bad Willie Stargell. Pirates. Hey, and I just showed you that other pirate card, right? Alright, another Honus Wagner, see? So I'm coming on some doubles here. And Robin Yount. So there you have it, folks. So that's a little round of minis Mondays on this Tuesday. I'm never sarcastic, people. Alright, so I'm going to wrap this episode up because it's getting a little long at 40 minutes. So, hey, if you wouldn't mind subscribing, leaving comments so that we can interact, and liking. The subscribe and liking will allow other people to view my videos who might be interested in this kind of stuff. Thanks, and see you in a little bit.